Good morning, viewers. Today I'm going to tell you about using offline map tiles in RFeye Site, and that's really useful if the computer you're using doesn't have online internet access all the time and you need to use the maps offline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to RFeye Site, and you'll be familiar here with the map view. And what you can see, if you click on the right hand arrow, it opens this little menu and it tells you where it's going to retrieve the maps from. So at the moment it's going to retrieve them from Mapbox-Streetmap and ESRI satellite. Okay, so if I just close that box, now let's imagine that we want to zoom in on an area of New Zealand, and I'm going to zoom in and you will see RFeye Site downloading the maps as we zoom in. So if I just zoom in here, you'll see, and I'm just going to do a very quick screen grab, and the reason for doing the screen grab is I want to know which map tiles it's going to download. So if you see here from the screen grab, the particular map tiles that it's downloaded are 6/0/40, 6, 62, 42, 6, 63, 42, and so on. And the question is, where has Site downloaded these to? So if we just look at the computer, the file that it's downloaded them to is Windows C, Program Data, CRFS Limited, Map Cache, and because we had selected Mapbox-Streetmap, this is where it's put them. And it puts them in a hierarchical folder structure. So the first level is how big the squares on the surface of the Earth is. So in folder 0, you basically got the whole Earth. Okay, so that you can see that is actually the whole Earth. Okay, whereas if as I go down the directories, these become more and more detailed. So this is now slightly zoomed in, and then as I go down and down, we get further and further zoomed in images. So the images which we just downloaded for New Zealand, which are over here, were 6/0/40, 6/140. So if I just look in folder 6, and we can see here that the 0 directory and the 1 directory have just been downloaded this morning. And if we look at these more closely, these are the files that we just downloaded. 6/0, that's a bit difficult to see. 6/1, those are the files that we've downloaded here. And 6, I think there's a 62 there. So if I scroll down to 62, that might be more helpful. 662. Yeah, so here's New Zealand. So these are the folders that we just downloaded this morning. Okay, so the question is, how can we use these on another computer that's offline? So the first thing to note is that you could just simply copy all these image files. They could be JPEG files or PNG files. The only thing is that in order for Site to fetch them back, they need to be in the correct subfolder. So by far the easiest way is, since Site, when it first downloaded them, put them into the correct hierarchical subfolders, the easiest thing is to keep that folder hierarchy and just zip the whole lot. So what we might do, for example, is we might decide to zip this entire number 6 subfolder. So if I right click on that folder, and I'm just going to use, for example, 7-zip, and I'm going to make a file called 6.zip. Okay, and here it is. It's a 4 MB file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. I'm going to take it across to my second computer, let's just imagine, which does not have internet access. So I copy that file across. I go across to my other machine and I make a directory. It could be anywhere, but in this case I'm going to call it, just on the C drive, I'm going to make a directory called offline maps. And I'm going to put these files in the street map subfolder, but you can call them anything you like. So I'm going to deposit it here. I'm going to paste this here. So that's the 6.zip. And if I'm just going to use 7-zip again, and I'm just going to extract here. So what we've done is we've kept the same directory structure now. So you can see that the same hierarchical directories that we had before have just been placed here. So if, for example, I go down to the subdirectory 62, where we said New Zealand was, and there you are. That's the map that I just previously downloaded. So how do we actually use this? So if we go back to RFeye Site, now let's just imagine that we are on the computer that's offline. So we have to tell RFeye Site where to find these map files. So if you go to Tools in the main menu and you go to Application Defaults and you click on Map Tile Library, that's in the bottom left corner there, Map Tile Library. And what you need to do is click on the tab that says Custom Map. Now, you can call this anything you like. I've called this My Maps Street just because it's the same name as the folder I saved it in, but you can call it anything. The next thing you've got to do is you've got to point to that directory where I just saved it to. So it's in this PC C drive. It's in Offline Maps. And then it's My Maps Street. Okay, so that's where I pointed it to. Okay, that's just the head directory there. Now, the one important thing is the tile address format. Now, this is the default format which Site has preserved for you, and you need to keep that the same, otherwise Site won't know in which subfolder to find those map tiles, so you need to keep that the same. If you have any difficulty with this, we can help you on that. The file name extension we downloaded as JPEG, JPG, but you can also download files as PNG files, in which case just change that to PNG. So once you've selected that, you say OK. So that's told Site that there exists another source of maps. Now, what on the map itself, you've got to point it to that source. So you click on this arrow to the right of the map. Under Map Layers, where it says Map Selection, you click on the drop-down box and change it to My Map Street, which is the name of the offline maps. And what it's done is it's gone off and it's loaded those from the saved directory. Now, the interesting thing here is if we zoom out slightly, what you're going to see happening, or if you just scroll left or right, you will come to the edge of the map, and that's because we didn't download all the map tiles. We only downloaded a subsection, and you can actually see there that we've come to the end of our map. If you zoom out or in, you'll just see a blank screen, and the reason for that is because we didn't download the lower resolution or the higher resolution. And so what you will need to do in Site is download all the different resolution levels that you require. So this is just a first step, but that should show you how to use Maps and RFeye Site if your computer does not have online internet access. So thank you very much, and please send all requests for help to support@crfs.com. Thank you. Bye.